Good afternoon. This is Vicki coming to you from Life Begins at 80. Down here in Dallas, Texas, where it's still warm and windy and more like spring than Christmas. But we just take what we can get. So here we are, and the Christmas countdown is on, and I am behind as usual. And every year I say, I'm not doing a thing at Christmas. I'm not doing any decorations, no people, no nothing. Just me and my husband sit by ourselves. And then that sounds very depressing. So I invited my son and daughter in law and two of my grandchildren over for Christmas lunch, and they actually accepted. So I'm excited because I'd much rather be with them than sit alone on Christmas Day. We did that last year, and that wasn't fun, but COVID kept us in the house and kept us away from everybody last year. This year, we're a little bit freer to do things. So I am actually excited that my family is coming here and we're going to have a real Christmas again. And it's going to be very, very nice. I will have my honey baked ham and all the trimmings, and it will be especially good because I don't cook it. I just buy it already cooked and put it on the table. It's very easy. So, that being said, here I go on my new video. Uh, I'm very sad this week because of the tornadoes in Tennessee and Kentucky and surrounding areas. It was probably one of the saddest weeks I've spent, one of the saddest things that I've seen. The destruction that occurred there was beyond belief. I just cannot fathom how people will recover from this. But I know they're resilient and I know they will recover, but it's going to be so hard. So instead of giving a lot of cheap, junky presents, especially to my adult children, I'm going to make a good donation to the cause of the tornado victims because they needed a lot more than my kids need another senseless Christmas present. So that's me just being altruistic this year, but I feel like these people need help, and I hope other people will help them because it's just think if you were in that situation and everything you had was gone in an instant, your house, your furniture, your clothes, some of your family members. I mean, what would you do? What would you do to cope with that situation? Well, I don't know what I would do. If I lost everything like that, I just can't even imagine the devastation. So I really want to help those people. And it was just so sad. All week I was sad watching. I watched the news and I watched pictures of those awful scenes of splinters of wood on the ground that were once houses. And I just feel like I need to cheer up, and I hope that they will be okay. Uh, I can't, I just don't want to go through the whole week being sad. And even though that will be hanging over me because I really feel deeply about what's happened, I'm going to make an effort to be happy and look at the bright side of things. Christmas is coming. I've got to cheer up. So that's what I'm going to do. I am thinking back on what I did in past years to cheer myself up. And I've come to the conclusion that laughter is the best medicine. What I did in every circumstance when I was having a hard time, I would watch some funny thing on TV or funny video or funny movie or anything to make myself laugh. And I remember several years ago, I broke my knee and I was confined to bed for a long time. And I was so sad because I couldn't get up, couldn't do anything. I just had to lay there. And it was very, very depressing. So I turned on, quite by accident, an old British TV series, comedy, called Keeping Up Appearances. And I probably watched the whole thing while I was laying in bed for a few weeks, and I laughed and laughed until I was sick. And I really attributed that TV program to making me better, making me feel well again. And I wanted to write to the actors in that series to thank them and tell them how much it meant to me. But then I found out they had passed away. And I was sorry that I couldn't ever thank them for helping me so much. So now I'm feeling sad because of all that happened in Kentucky and Tennessee and people, to people around there. And so once again, I reach out to TV. And one of the funniest things that I have seen within this past week was Curb Your Enthusiasm. This Larry David, he is the funniest thing in the world. This program on HBO is so funny. To me, it's just hysterical. And I laugh and I laugh and I laugh. Larry David is the funniest person on TV as far as I'm concerned. He is everything everybody would like to be. He doesn't really care about other people. He doesn't care about anything. He just goes about his business, getting in trouble over and over. And every time he gets in trouble, he doesn't care, but he always gets out of it. He gets away with murder. And he is hilarious. Just the way he walks is funny. So, and I laugh so hard that I really embarrass myself sometimes because, I'm laughing so loud. My husband looks over at me like, what is wrong with you? But anyway, I think it's a funny show. So I would recommend that to anybody. I would also recommend, I watched this series that I watched on HBO, I think it was HBO, called Pretend It's a City, which was hilarious, with Fran Lebowitz and what's his name, and the director Martin Scorsese. It is so funny. Fran Lebowitz is really a funny lady. She's a humorist, I guess you'd call her. I don't know what she's written a few books, but I don't think she's made her money off of books. But she is hysterical. She lives in New York, and her commentaries on New York City are amazing, and that show is so funny. Another one where I just laugh and laugh and laugh until I'm just laughing myself sick. So I would recommend Pretend It's a City if you're into that kind of thing. If you're into Fran Lebowitz, or if you even know she is, you ought to just tune in and listen to her for a few minutes because she is funny. And so I've been looking for things to amuse me and make me feel better. And I am finding some things, and I'm finding some other things that are really depressing on TV, but good. I watched Sandra Bullock in Unforgiven. Now that's sad. If you want to be sad, you can watch that. She's a fabulous actress. I have to give her credit for being just top notch in this movie. But it's really a sad show. I didn't realize it would be that way. I knew it wasn't going to be a cheerful comedy, but I didn't think it would be this sad. But it is very sad and very touching. But she's fabulous. Just looking at her acting ability is worth the price of watching this. So I am just going to town. My son says, all you do is watch TV. All you do is watch movies and videos and YouTube. And don't you ever do anything else with your life? Well, yeah, I do. I really do other things. I Christmas shop. I run all over town buying things. Today I must have covered, 10 different places by noon. And I think I'm through with my Christmas shopping, whatever it is. It's not a lot. Tomorrow I will decorate. I bought this minuscule tree. I had thrown away my Christmas tree from last year because I said I'm never doing Christmas again in this house, ever again. So here I am doing it once again. So I had to buy a new Christmas tree. So I bought a little Christmas tree, just something for the season, because Christmas is just not really my holiday. Being Jewish and being raised Jewish, you're not really into Christmas that much. It's more the American spirit of the holiday. It's not the religious holiday that it is for Christians. But for my grandchildren, I like to do something. So I bought this little tree, which I now have to decorate, and it was so darn expensive. And I asked the lady in the store, why are these things so expensive? She said, well, we've had delivery problems this year, and half of our inventory is now sitting on a boat somewhere in an ocean. So that was not encouraging. And the shelves in the stores were pretty much stripped bare. It's 2 weeks before Christmas, and they're already, stuff is already gone, and there was nothing much left to buy. So I did have some things left over from last year that I didn't throw out. So I'll get by. I don't want to do a lot because then I have to clean up a lot. And when it's just two people here by themselves, when all the kids go home, you don't feel like cleaning up a big mess. So I am going to do my best to make the house festive and make sure the food is good and everything is pretty. And they will enjoy it. They're not picky. They don't look at every little thing like that. They, as long as they have good food to eat and some presents, they're happy. They don't ever give me a hard time. So I am anxiously awaiting their arrival. Haven't seen them in a long time. And one thing I have to say, though, is when I was Christmas shopping, most of the shopping I did for myself. I'd say, well, there's one for you and two for me and one for you and three for me. So I did buy a lot of nice things for myself, which was fun. I hadn't bought much for myself in 2 years, but they had some nice things. A lot of it was picked over. Not a lot of merchandise. It was a very different kind of Christmas, I thought. For me, it was. That's what I experienced. Not much merchandise. Not a lot in the stores. Grumpy salespeople. One lady was so mean. I saw this cute hat, a knit hat, and it looked kind of small. So I said to one of the girls working there, I said, is this an adult hat or a children's hat? Because I couldn't tell. It was small looking. And the girl didn't know, and then this other girl didn't know, and then this lady who was working there screamed at me and said, it's an adult hat. Can't you see that? And I felt so bad. I said, no, I thought it was a child's hat. It's small. Well, it's an adult hat, she said. Well, she was obviously having a very rough day. So I just said that to myself. She's having a bad day. Don't make it worse for her. Just ignore it. So I did. It was very nice. And I found that a lot of the salespeople were in very bad moods, which for Christmas is probably not abnormal. I'm sure they're worked to death at this time of year. But anyway, Christmas will be here whether I want it to be here or not. It's coming whether we know it or not, and we're going to make the best of it, and we're going to have a good time. And we're hoping that people in Tennessee and Kentucky will recover soon, get over this somehow, rebuild. I don't know what they're going to have to do, but I hope they can do it. I hope they get money to do things. I'll make my little contribution and do what I can, but it's certainly not enough. And but I hope other people will kick in there too and help out. Give money to the Red Cross or whoever. But they really need it. Instead of giving an extra Christmas present to everybody, just take the money and send it to the Red Cross. And I think it will be much more appreciated that way. So with that said, I hope everybody has a good week, gets all your shopping done, gets everything ready, and is not too stressed, and watches funny TV, and just has a good time, and enjoys laughter. One other thing I have to say, the way I thought about laughter, when I was a little kid, my parents used to subscribe to the Reader's Digest. Now, maybe a lot of you, your parents did that too, or maybe you did that. But they used to have, or maybe they still do, a section in there called Laughter, the Best Medicine. And when I was little, when that would come in the mail, I would grab that magazine and run to my room and hide and read Laughter, the Best Medicine. That was the first thing I always read in the Reader's Digest. I loved it. So, anyway, you have a great week, and I will talk to you very soon. Take care. Goodbye.